you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me.
Welcome, race fans, to the eSports Broadcast and Network's showing of Round 2 for the All-American Racing League's Truckers Feed America Cup Series, brought to you by Top Sail Trucking. Tonight, the Muffler Man 200 from freshly repaved, reconfigured Atlanta Motor Speedway will commence. More high-speed racing, close racing is next. Will Patrick McQuaid go back-to-back? Stay tuned to the end as Cliff and Emily will take you flag to flag. Emily, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. Just got done game not too long ago. Got my stomach filled and ready for this great adventure we're about to have tonight.
So tell me what you know about this new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
It is definitely wide enough for 3 wide. You can easily, as long as everybody holds their line, you're definitely going to be seeing 3 wide, as you see in this shot right here. Yeah, 3 wide we'll see a lot. That mid to top line, if you get a good top, people to run that with, that's something that we're going to see a lot. If they have people that know how to run that top line, you're definitely going to see them pushing out in front, and we're definitely going to see a lot of side-by-side or even single file if that's what they want to do tonight.
We'll copy that. Let's take a look at these cars as they roll around here. And we'll remind you, we are live here at Atlanta Motor Speedway virtually. It's going to be a hot one. It's going to be about 80 degrees out here tonight. and these guys are going to be possibly slipping and sliding. We'll see how it goes. We'll bring up our grid here and show our official starting grid here. Oh, I apologize there. Too many graphics on the screen. So starting on the pole, going to be Jason Middleton in this 11 car today. Starting outside of him is going to be Jackson Carr. Starting third here tonight on inside row number 2 is going to be Tyrone Yo Jr. Starting outside of him in the 45 is going to be Cole Martin. Then starting in 5th, going to be David Lorfano the third. Starting outside of him, going to be the 37 of Charlie Dickey in that Toyota machine. The number 1 car of Lilith Peters will start off 7th, with Christian Delgado starting outside of her in starting 8th here. The 15 car of David Harrow will start 9th, and Jim Hubble is going to round out top 10. We're going to go green flag here, and we'll bring up our ticker. We'll get to the rest of the drivers momentarily. Green flag flies, and we are underway at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
I just saw this, the Minions car. You see that?
I did not see that.
They got 2 little minions on the back of those 2 bumpers of the people that's leading.
Okay, I see him now there as we get a good shot from up above there. A couple of minions looking on. That is the 57 and 11 car of Jackson Carr and Jason Middleton. As they come across the line, we'll go lap 2. They will lead these first lap around here. Lilith Peters with the fastest lap that first lap. She's currently in 6th. Look to see her to make her way towards the front here as we come down the backstretch. I do apologize for the kind of quick start there. I was expecting another lap of caution to get going, but what we're going to have to do here is go ahead and bring up our race sponsor, who for this race is the Muffler Man 200. Very happy to have them sponsoring this race tonight. The Muffler Man is a mechanic shop that has served customers from all over the country for over 20 years. Muffler Man is currently located in 219 Columbus Road in Athens, Ohio. They perform all sorts of services for various vehicles, including exhaust maintenance and custom bending, but also shocks, struts, brakes, maintenance, oil changes, tire services, and more. Give a call to Muffler Man at 740-592-3593 to get your vehicle serviced today. A big shout out to Muffler Man for sponsoring yet another race. Definitely sponsored a couple races in the beginning on season number 1. And we're currently here in season number 2, and the Muffler Man back on board for this Atlanta race, which is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be different. It's kind of like a mini Daytona out here, Emily?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, definitely full throttle all around the track. As you see, it's we have 2 cars trying to work that outside line. Again, if you get good people on that outside line, you can run it. And yeah.
That's going to be Tyrone Yo Jr. running that outside line, leading that pack, I believe, up top, with the 8 of David Lorfano giving him a push.
Yes, also you see they got a big group now on that high line. Right in that high line, if they can get a group, obviously a good group on it. And as what I mentioned earlier, sliding up on the track, that's something you'll see a lot at Atlanta, as it's full throttle, but again, it's mini Daytona. You still gotta check up when you're in the draft of somebody, as I believe they're coming up on a lapped car. As the lapped car goes low, the 27.
Yeah, we got a lapped car there, diving down to the apron, making that smart move, getting out of the way of the leaders, who currently is Jackson Carr out of Des Moines. I believe this is a newcomer, at least to this season. We didn't see Jackson Carr in the opener at Daytona last week, or Jason Middleton here. A couple of team cars showing up here for the second race, trying to I guess kind of show the rest of these guys what they've got to prove.
Oh yeah, and with these next gens, you got a lot to prove with them, as you know. they're a whole different ball field from the Gen 6 cars myself. Recently, I switched over to the next gens in a league, but I've been still running them every week.
Ooh, car into the wall.
As we get a car into the wall, it's going to be number 14.
That might have been, yeah, Scott Leonard Da Vinci.
And I will mention with these bodies, you can scrape that wall with these, new, what is it, carbon fiber bodies, I think they are. I need to do a little bit more research, but with these bodies, you can scrape that wall. It doesn't show much damage, but if you hit that wall, you can definitely break that toe link, and that's something like we kept on seeing at Daytona. Was we saw a couple cars that had both toe links break. It can happen here as well, and as you see, Middletown is right on that bumper, which this is a track where if you know what you're doing, you can crush all around the track.
Seems to be so, at least for this first part of this race, as Jackson Carr and Jason Middleton are gonna work together very well. As we see those minions you were talking about right there, got the push here sign, letting his teammate know where to put that bumper and give his teammate a push, hopefully to the lead and hopefully to the win, I would assume. But we'll have to get some more info on this new team out here. I apologize for those in the chat. If you're here to watch Jackson Carr and Jason Middleton, give me a shout out. Let me know what team they're running for here, because these are new entries. Weren't here last week at Daytona. But right now, currently Tyrone Yo Jr. here in third, with Cole Martin, I think, running that outside line. So this is kind of the fight for third as we currently run lap 12 of 134 here at the newly reconfigured Atlanta Motor Speedway. High banked. Let us know what it looks like at home if you guys are having a good time. If this is the type of racing you are into, or if you're missing the old Atlanta, please give us your opinions and definitely give us a shout out to who you are rooting for. Big shout out to you guys already showing up. Looks like we got Zorku Nation already in the chat, as well as some Patrick McQuaid fans, our last week's winner. Let's see if he can go back to back this week, or if he can take his teammates to the front. Right now, we're going to be looking all eyes on Jackson Carr and Jason Middleton, 1-2 winning this thing, with Tyrone Yo Jr. and Lilith Peters trying to fight for that third spot, as Yo goes a little bit high, put on a block on that outside line, but dives back down to the bottom. I'm curious, Emily, I know you've done some races here. I haven't driven a mile here, or even an inch, to be honest. How are the lines compared to like a Daytona? Is it definitely worth sticking to that bottom line like it is at Daytona, or can you kind of drift off of it a little bit and get a little better of a run?
So with this, as you see, we have cars starting up there. You'll start seeing this later in the runs too. Is you can stick that bottom, but if the line starts getting some movement in it, you'll definitely see the whole line like starting to slant up. As you know how we have arrows, right? That's what you're gonna start seeing sometimes, is that if the second car in the line starts sliding up, you'll see the whole line start sliding up just to stay in that draft. As we see right there in the front. The 57 and 11 are pulling a decent gap, if I do say so myself, which I don't really see much here. So that tells you how much they've been working and pushing together, as you can tell that too wide back there is just slowing them down and allowing the first two cars just to get away from them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right with that gap. Almost up to a half a second there for a moment, and that's what it is. It's the side-by-side racing as David Hara comes up to steal third. I think he understands that time is starting to run out, and these two cars are getting away, and single file is going to be the way to get it done. So that too wide racing is not going to work for that 15 machine, as he dives down to the bottom line, hoping to bring Lilith Peters in that number 1 machine right behind him. And he's got last race winner number 77 up 12 spots from where he started, currently running that top 5 spot.
Yes, and again, I'm glad to be out here tonight and with these amazing drivers, especially with these amazing paint schemes out here. I see that they got different paints this week as well, so I like that they're changing their paint stuff every race.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys put everything into every race, and paint schemes are no limit there. Let's go ahead and bring up our drivers and run through the field quick, as they're kind of a little bit calmed down in single file here as we run lap 18. We'll run through them as quick as we can. Jackson Carr, first spot. Jason Middleton been leading the show 1-2 the whole race so far, but David Hara currently putting on a pressure right behind him. And he brought Lilith Peters here in 4th and Patrick McQuaid in the 7th position. And those two are starting to put on the pressure. You saw the 77 there jump to the top a little bit. Gonna start trying some different things, I think, but we got a little bit of a gap back here to 6th place. Matter of fact, almost a 2-second gap. And we got Cole Martin in that 45 leading it, but Peter Terrio's now running that 6th machine up to the high spot. He's up 14 spots, gonna grab 7th right now from the 45. Christian Delgado's hoping to follow him in there for 8th in the 16 machine. Brian Kaufman in this 01 is going to be running 8th now, was 9th as they start to get by the 45 on that top spot, or top side, I'm sorry. Charlie Dickey in the 37 Toyota going to round out our top 10 with Scott Da Vinci running 11th. Tyrone Yo Jr. has fallen back now to 12th, trying to settle in, get his car all warmed up and going. He was up in the top 5 not too long ago. David Lorfano the 3rd in the 8 machine running 13th, with Zorku the 72 machine running 14th. These guys back here just starting to bide their time, waiting for the first either caution or green flag run to commence. And we got Jim Hubble in the 51 Ford back here in 15th. Larry Garnes in that 20 machine rolling 16th currently, and Adam Agerstein in the 9 car currently running 17th, a bit back from the leaders. Off the lead lap, we got Johnny May, the 00, Chad Snyder in the 26, Nathan Christensen in the 3, Justin Horton in the 27, and Cameron Harris here back in 27th. Must have had some issues early on getting this race going. We'll see if he can get his car back up into a contending position. As we jump up front here, back with the number 57 car of Jackson Carr. It's a great race car name, if I do say so myself.
Yes, it is, as we now have, I believe that's a 5-car pack that's broken away from the main field.
Yeah, these guys are starting to show us how it's done. They're starting to break away from this field. The 2 cars in the back here, Patrick McQuaid and Lilith Peters, though, they're not really content running nose to tail. They're kind of trying different lines. I'm thinking they're getting ready for kind of towards the end of this run. This is a great time to test out stuff, you know, before any crazy events happen, any big wrecks or you get any damage. See how your car will react towards the end of the race. See what'll work, top, bottom, side by side, front to back. Oh, as the 77 drifts up a little bit, almost gets into the 1 there. Very close, a little too close for comfort there, but we'll jump back up front with Jackson Carr. We're gonna go side by side. We're gonna jump into a commercial break, and you won't miss any of the action. We're not going anywhere. You won't either. We'll go side by side. We'll be right back. Do not go away.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field worked its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing it's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Back live at the racetrack as we have got a fight for the lead. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Jackson Carr and Jason Middleton have been dominant here, but the 15 car of David Harrah is going to put on the pressure as he gets some help from Lilith Peters and Patrick McQuaid running 4-5. So Atlanta Motor Speedway has been a great show so far. 30 laps in, dare I say it, clean and green so far. Not much as so much as a sniff of an error on racetrack for these competitors. Now you can see the top 5. You could just about throw a blanket over them. I want to jump to the blimp view here if I can and just show you the gap back to what would be 6th place, or is 6th place, about 4.5 seconds back now. And I don't want to take our eyes off too much as these guys are fighting for the lead, but real quick we'll jump back to Christian Delgado leading this second pack here, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Charlie Dickey, Adam Angerstein, Brian Kaufman, Peter Terrio in that pack. As they're trying to fight their way back up towards the front here, they're going to have to get single file here, line up, and start working together if they're going to catch this front pack, especially if this thing stays green.
Oh yeah, and we're actually coming up too close to our pit window, coming in between, I believe it's lap 35 to lap 44. So we're coming around that, you know, that lucky time where they're going to think about, hey, when are we going to come down pit road, or are they trying to hold out to see if there's a caution that would fly?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We are definitely coming to green flag pit stops if they stay that way. And so far, from what we've seen, this is going to be a pretty clean race. These guys have, at the very least, put in some practice time, which the All-American Racing Leagues definitely promotes plenty of practice, and which is why you're seeing the clean racing you're seeing here today. We can't say it enough. These guys know how to race. They put in the time. They've all got plenty of seat time. You're seeing this top 5 really be very fast here, and even these other. So I don't want to discount McQuaid, Harrah, and Peters, but the 57 and the 11 have been fast from the get-go. But now, these 3 here who have been working together now for a good 30 laps-ish, they're starting to figure this place out on a race run, and now these 2 front competitors have some pressure. They've got some real good competition, and we're seeing side-by-side runs here now for the lead, and we're only 30 laps in. We got 100 to go.
Oh yeah, and coming out here, you can definitely tell that that 77 car is just saying, hey, you've led enough laps. Let's change it up. Let's let somebody else lead it, you know?
Yeah, Patrick McQuaid definitely trying to also pad his bonus points there for the end of the season here when we get into the playoffs. The bonus points are going to be ever important. McQuaid's got 15 of them already under his belt. You can get bonus points by leading a lap or leading the most laps and such. McQuaid's got 15 right now. He's 5 bonus points ahead of his teammate Cameron Harris, who finished 2nd, who actually is having a rough time tonight. Scored back in the 22nd place, so unfortunate for Cameron Harris and their team. But Patrick McQuaid showing that the 77 machine, the Muffler Man, he's actually got the race sponsor here on his car. So big shout out to him and their team for carrying the sponsor. See if he can get to the lead and really bring home maybe a win. Now, Patrick McQuaid, I got to tell you guys, I believe he won 5 races last season alone, and he won the first 2 or 3 at least. So watch out for this 77. If you were a betting person, it would be a really good bet for this team.
I don't know. I don't know. I believe I have my eyes on my 2 people I'm going to bet for this season.
Hey, everybody's got their own opinion, and we got different drivers. It's a long season, I'll tell you that. We got a long way to go before we got to talk about playoffs. But those bonus points are going to help. Getting wins under your belt are going to help. And at least our top three, McQuaid, Harris, and Cole Martin, with a 1-2-3 finish last week, are going to really help their points running into this thing. Unfortunately, Cameron Harris, he's got a long ways to go if he wants to make this race here really work towards his championship, but he's got a ways to go for that. Let's take a look at where Cole Martin currently is running. He's in this 45 machine back here in 11th. He took second place last week at Daytona, and looking to see if he can get his car up to the a good top 5, top 10 finish here and make a good run at their championship battle. But like we said, teammates with McQuaid, who brought his team to a all podium finish, 1-2-3. Pretty amazing race. If you got time, go check out our past broadcast at Daytona on the eSports Broadcasting Network. I want to give a huge shout out to Wildman EG in the chat for reminding us, you guys as well as us, not to forget to hit that like button. Make sure you smash that thing. That's the best way to get us out in front of the masses. If you like what you're seeing and enjoy the racing, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of this action, and hit that bell notifications if you want to get a ping every time we go live at the eSports Broadcasting Network. Plenty of racing all week long, not just here at the All-American Racing League Cup Series Muffler Man 200, but also many other leagues. So check us out, see what we've got to offer, especially if you're a sim racing fan.
And I will mention, we are actually coming up to close to our end of pit window. It's going to be lap 44. If I'm checking my notes correctly, is the last moment lap that they possibly can go unless they're saving majorly. So we're coming down to the 3-lap mark of when people are going to start coming down pit lane.
Yeah, we're definitely stretching that pit window to its fullest right now. Lap 41 of 134 currently. You're going to see these drivers start to eyeball pit road, which, is probably a bit new to these drivers compared to the old Atlanta as well. I'm sure pit road's a bit different, but you're definitely eyeballing it and getting ready to come down. As we've been green here for 42 of 134 laps now at this Muffler Man 200.
And I believe the 57 and 11 are going to go in there and pit and be our first two cars to come down pit road. So it's going to be interesting to see if we have any takers coming down as they're side by side on the pit road.
Yeah, here they come. Jackson Carr and sorry, I lost him on the thing here. Jason Middleton coming down pit road as a team. You're going to see this. Everybody's going to come down as a team. It's just like a Talladega or a Daytona. You want to come in and out of pit road with someone to help you with a draft. As the 15 car here has got a big run over Lilith Peters and Patrick McQuaid. Just about a 2-second gap there forming. And I think he would probably want to almost drag the brake a little bit here as we got wholesale pit stops happening now with Christian Delgado, Adam Angerstein, Charlie Dickey, Cole Martin, Zorku, Jeremy Flanagan, Peter Terrio, Justin Horton, all down pit road now as this 15 machine will peel off and probably take the rest of the field. Lilith Peters, Patrick McQuaid behind her. Brian Kaufman's going to come down, David Lorfano, everybody else, Scott Leonard, Jim Hubble, Larry Garnes, Tyrone Yo Jr., Nathan Christensen coming down. Christian Delgado's out on the racetrack in the 16 Ford coming back out. He'll be the first one to pit and come back out. I'm sorry, that's not true. Jackson Carr and Jason Middleton, as we saw them whiz on by. Those two cars back nose to tail. Somebody's got to know these guys out here in the chat and let me know who this 57 and 11 machine, this 57 and 11 team is running for and who. And give me some info out there. See if we get a close-up of their cars and maybe get a idea of who their sponsors might be. Looks like we got Sky Point on the hood of these cars and a couple of minions on the tail end. I'll tell you, these guys know how to get it done in the draft. With the draft here, Jackson Carr, Jason Middleton, 1-2. As Lilith Peters, our third place car, is currently about 3 seconds back after these pit stops start to cycle through. Lap 46 of 134 here of the Muffler Man 200. Thank you for joining us. If you're just joining us, thank you for hanging out with us for the night. If you've been here all night, as you know, Carr and Middleton 1-2, 57, and the 11 car dominant here so far. But we've seen the 77, the 15, the 1 car. These cars have been able to work together and put pressure on these two. So we'll see if they can get that done later on in the race when it's really going to matter towards the end.
Yes, as they're pulling over almost a 5-second gap between third place. So that's telling me that third place is alone, as I believe the 25 car just touched that wall a little bit.
Yeah, trying to get out of the way there. So I also would like some info on whether or not these two cars here are going to be running a full season or not. We didn't see them at Daytona, as we talked about earlier. So, you know, it's curiosity for me. Doesn't really make much of a difference. They're definitely putting on a show here at this new Atlanta reconfigured racetrack. But I'm wondering if we're going to see more of them throughout the season. You know, we'll definitely... Well, I won't say definitely, but it seems like we'll at least get to talk to one of these guys if they finish on the podium. You know, we've been clean and green. We haven't really had the opportunity to pull any drivers in to get their perspective on how the race is running and how we're doing here. I don't wish for cautions, but I also don't want to disrupt drivers when they're running clean and green laps here at Atlanta. So I don't think we're going to bother anybody. I do apologize for not really talking to anyone yet. It's been a little bit of a quiet race here. But that's the kind of racing I think this new track is going to introduce to us, is kind of this pack mentality racing, but a lot cleaner. And I don't know if this is just because of the drivers we got here today and how good they are, or if it's the racetrack. I think
it might be the first option. This is one of the, actually, I think it's like the second to third race I've seen it gone during this long. So I'm definitely pulling for the amazing drivers we have out here tonight.
Yeah, they definitely have the talent. I think you're right, Emily. I think it's all about the drivers here tonight. They're top of the class. Cream rises to the top. They're very clean drivers, and it's not even. I'll say this. There's nothing that this league has put forth that's like overbearing as far as like rules go or penalties go. These guys very rarely see any penalties, so there isn't a harsh penalty system. You know, I forget now because no one ever uses them, but I think they have one fast repair, but no one ever really has to use them. And you know, there's just because it's always clean racing, and they get it, and they really race well together. And I kind of have lost my train of thought, I'll say that, but what I'm getting at is these guys really run clean, and it's not because of harsh penalties. It's because they know what they're doing. There's a lot of talent here, a lot of respect around one another, and they're showing it even more now in season 2 than I saw in season 1, which was not quite as clean, but very clean as well. But this season so far, obviously we're only 2 races in. They've both been, I'll say, quote unquote, super speedways. But you normally expect a bunch of large wrecks in super speedways that collect a lot of unfortunate cars and teams. And we haven't seen that this race at all. And we didn't see a lot of it at Daytona.
Oh yeah. It's amazing how these drivers out here are driving and how they're easy to keep that line and not just line up into the person above them. As our 2 lead cars are going to be coming up on a pack and going to be lapping them. I believe that's going to be our first, packed these laps that they're gonna have trouble getting past them.
As we go on board with Jackson Carr here, again, a little bit of a view of what he's seeing.
Touches the wall.
Couple of cars right in front of the leaders here at a high banked, high speed track can cause a lot of havoc, because those two cars have been nose to tail all race, and they are fast, especially with what they're doing with the draft. And you come up on some slower cars and it can get pretty dangerous, but I think they handled it really well. I think a lot of us out there were holding our breath and hoping for the best there, but no harm, no foul. That 00 is trying to hang on to his, or the lead lap there. Actually, let me take a look there. Johnny May, yeah, he's trying to stay on the lead lap of the old-fashioned way. I think it's going to be tough against this 11 and 57. They've really got this place figured out.
Oh yeah, and I mean, now since they're in a pack, it's going to be hard to just pull off away from them like they've done before. So they gotta hope there's a disruption in this pack in order to start pulling away from that pack and size gapping the whole entire field, as we now have 16 cars on the lead lap. 16
cars on the lead lap. We've got 4 up in that front pack. We jump back to the number 1. I'm sorry here, the timing is a little bit behind. But 4 cars here in the second pack. And what we're seeing is just a lot of small groups here that have kind of spread out around this racetrack. So if we look at the leader, the 57 here of Jackson Carr, he's got a group working with him, about 5 cars, 6 cars. They're back to David Hara in the 15 machine running 6th. And then it's 9.6 seconds back to Patrick McQuaid in that 77 machine running 7th.
Yes.
You've got a 5-car pack there, ending with Jeremy Flanagan in that 72. And then it's 15 seconds back to the 12 car of Cole Martin, running what I would call the 3rd pack here. So 3 distinct separate packs really spreading the field out here. And that's just indicative of what we've seen. Clean racing, green flags at a super speedway. This is what we're going to see. Now, don't rely on this. I think that guys and gals are gonna get excited here when we get towards the end, and are probably gonna start taking some risks, making some moves that maybe they shouldn't, and we might see some action here towards the end that might be detrimental to this spread out field that has happened. So they might get bunched up towards the end. I don't expect it to go clean and green to the end, but hey, it might. But I wouldn't rely on it, I guess is what I'm getting at. If I was a crew chief, I'm always going to keep that fast repair in my back pocket. Expect a late caution, hopefully. I've heard tire wear is not a problem here. They wear pretty evenly. But I want to keep a set in the pitch for a late green-white checkered if it happens. I expect the racing to really intensify towards the end when it comes down to the wire, and we might need an overtime situation. But same time that I say that, if we get spread out so far and there aren't a lot of challenges here, we might see this race go all the way to the end green. I would probably write that down in my record book that I've got mysteriously somewhere hidden somewhere, but I've never broadcast a show that has gone completely green.
I think I've done that maybe once in my history of SRM ESPN. Yeah, and out of the races I've raced, I think I've had maybe 2 out of officials in leagues that went green all the way. So we definitely have a treat out here tonight, as we're definitely 64 laps in. We're getting there. We're over, I'd say, coming over almost halfway through this race. It's been an enjoyable race, don't you think?
Yeah, it's been very interesting. I'll say that. We've had some great racing for the front. I mean, you can't put it past these 2 front runners in the 57-11, but right behind them, these guys have been chomping at this bit the entire time. and it's been great. I definitely agree with you. It's been action packed and clean. You can't ask for much more. I mean, yeah, sure, we love to see a good wreck every once in a while, but we all want to see good hard racing, and I think this new configuration at Atlanta is really helping with that. And of course, you put these exquisite drivers on this racetrack, and they will show you what's up. I did hear with some early practicing earlier on in the week and even yesterday that the car was a little easier to catch when it gets loose. I don't know if that's coming into play here or not, but that's what I was hearing.
Yes. They've actually done a lot more updates on these cars. Also, we mentioned last week Daytona, the damage model, but they've been pushing out a lot of updates for these cars, trying to fix them, try to make them a lot better to drive, even though, personally, I think they drive perfectly fine. But I believe they have fixed the major problem where you turn the wheel and try to catch it, you go straight into the outside wall. If you've seen in the past, like, let's say before they did that major update to them with the damage model, remember that these next gens would like to, when you go to save them, they'd like to just, fully straight turn up into the wall.
Yeah, very well said. As we run through the field here, we'll hopefully show you your favorite driver and where they're at. As we just kind of run through here, we're about to take a short break here and go to a side-by-side commercial break, but we will run through the whole field here and get everybody's names up in the lights. I know that's why everybody here is here tonight, is to watch your favorite driver and cheer them on. So big thank you to everyone showing up in the chat and showing up tonight and just watching the show. Shout out to Alex F. You're not wrong. Anytime the green flag is mentioned, the yellow shall appear. It's probably true. Just a matter of when it's going to happen. But these drivers, I'm telling you, they are very spread out. And, of course, that will help with the staying green, hopefully, for the night. Also, a big shout-out to Cecil Hawks for wanting to see the record book I talked about. Newsflash, there is no book. So Jackson Carr and the 11 machine of Jason Middleton running 1-2. They got a lapped car of the 9 underneath them. We're going to go side by side one more time. Do not go away. We will be right back.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
And we are back live at the racetrack. Thanks for sticking with us as we fly down the backstretch here. Carr Middleton 1-2 getting that push going. We're also knocking wood. Alex F in the chat. We believe it's going to be smoother than a hot knife through butter as well. Big shout out to those watching at home live and joining us in the chat. The best place to be. I want to know, where is Zorku Nation? Who's out here cheering for Zorku? Let's find him on the racetrack. Jeremy Flanagan in the 72 machine. Currently running in the 9th, top 10. Pretty good start to this young man this season so far. Running out here with a new team, new form team, Kaiju Cat Motorsports. Lilith Peters is a teammate. I'll jump over to the teammate information here so I don't get this all messed up. But Kaiju Cat Motorsports currently newly formed team, as I said. Zorku running the show there, I believe. Jackson Carr in the 57 machine. Okay. Oh, see, all I had to do was go look at my own information right in front of me, and I would find out that these are Kaiju Cat Motorsports guys up here running 1-2. Where were these guys last week?
I don't know. I think they must be new. They're definitely pulling their weight for being newbies out here this week.
I need some explanation over here in the chat. Kaiju Cat Motorsports running 1, 2, 3. Who else we got here? Oh, okay. Part-time number 11. Got that. 57's up here running. Okay, so these guys, the 57 here is a full-time runner, running first place here in the Muffler Man 200 at Atlanta. Jason Middleton for Kaiju Cat Motorsports running a part-time season as they go 3 wide here. Second place. Shuffling up just a bit. These guys are getting antsy, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And like I said, 3 wide as I just saw back there. But for some reason, that 57 is just pulling from that main pack with absolutely no draft. That baffles me.
Yeah, wondering if he's got a problem. But the 11 kind of dropping back there.
Possibly, as 11 just pushed the 3 car. I think he's surprised as, yeah, he went up high to go back with his teammate. You see him right on that bumper just saying, hey, I'm here, let's go, let's boogity past all of these drivers. That one car gets in the wall. That's something I was going to mention Tad earlier is, if you get close to that wall, it just sucks you up into that. And when you try to get off of it, it's a chance where you just go straight down. That's what these drivers do have to be careful is when they're running that high line, is not to get sucked up into that wall.
Very well said. You're not wrong. I want to highlight real quick Peter Terrio here in the 6 machine, finding himself scored in 3rd. He's got he's got at least one lap car there behind him, so he's currently scored 3rd. He's up 18 spots from where he started.
When did these cars catch up to them? I must have missed it. Wow.
You know, it's been all green here, so things have definitely gotten mixed up around the racetrack. A lot of, we saw 3 distinct different groups earlier. I'm sure there's more happening around the racetrack, and things are definitely going to get mixed up if you stay green here for this long, and that's what we're seeing. So that 3 car, that 9 car, they are not running here up here in the top on the lead lap, but definitely still fast enough on the racetrack to be up here.
Yes, and I will throw this out there. We're actually surprisingly coming again, getting close to our 2nd pit window. Lap 88 is that pit window where it should end, if I did my math correctly. 44 was the last time they came in, and they're definitely coming up to that pit window in these next coming, I say 4 laps? They have 4 laps of fuel left roughly, so.
Absolutely, as everybody came in, they came in about ranging between lap 42 to 44, as you said, is the longest anyone was able to stretch it. So assuming those teams do that again, 88 would be that number. We'll see what those front cars do here with Carr and Middleton, as Peter Terrio is going to put on that pressure for a top spot here.
Yes, he is. And he gets to that back bumper of that 11 car, and you can tell he's trying to make a move on them and trying to kick them out of that front spot, as that 57 car has already led almost half of this race. If I am correct, they've led, if not all of these laps here so far.
Yeah, and if my information is correct, Jackson Carr here is running a full-time schedule. He must have had some issues here in the first race, or maybe wasn't able to start at Daytona. But looks like he'll be running a full-time schedule, so expect to see more of this 57 car. But don't look now. The Peter Terrio is going to take the lead up 20 spots now, as he gets a big push from the 9.
I know what the 57-11 car is doing. They're dropping back. They're going to allow everybody to go past, and they're going to go down pit lane. I have a feeling I know what they're about to do.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're seeing some strategy play out, trying to play the safe game here.
Because I've done that myself hundreds of times. Is I let the lead pack go, so they go around one more time, then we can get back into that lead. So I definitely see what they're doing. So it's going to be interesting to see if they are going to be coming down pit lane very soon.
Yeah, really smart heads-up driving here. I want to highlight that for a second, as Jason Carr and I'm sorry, I keep saying Jason. It's Jackson Carr and Jason Middleton.
I did call it. I 100% called it. I knew that from the get-go.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna mix us up. We'll get it straight. But those guys are our teammates. The 11 and 57 for Kaiju Cat Motorsports. We keep talking about them, but a big showing here tonight, as Lilith Peters, Peter Terrio, Christian Delgado all pulling into pits. David Heron, the 15 machine, going to assume the lead here on lap 88. Just about the end of our pit window. We're expecting to see everyone come in now. Kaufman's in, Flanagan's in, McQuaid in the 77 machine. Winner at Daytona, he is in. Charlie Dickey, go ahead. Oh, Adam Angerstein in the 9 is actually sideways on the racetrack. He's off the racing surface now, and he is rolling. We will absolutely take a look and see what happened there, but it did not cause a caution, whatever it was.
I believe what happened was he was undecisive with pitting. He started braking way too late, got turned around a tad, but man. I think it's going to be a little bit ahead.
Take a look here at Adam Angerstein in the 9 machine. A little bit of help there from the 15, just slowed up. Not quite as fast as that pack behind him.
I'm really surprised that didn't bring out a caution.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Awfully surprised myself, but hey.
I've seen where that happened before and a caution's thrown out, so iRacing must be generous right now. They're trying to make it go green flag run, but yeah.
Yeah, the iRacing gods here are working in our favor here tonight. That definitely should have been a caution. I swear, if we want to get race control to jump in here real quick, if he's listening, I don't know if he is or not. If he wants to jump in here and let us know if he had his finger on the button, because I swear he probably was hovering that button, ready to throw the yellow, and
you mean get race control in here?
Yeah, if you want to bring him in, let's get a word from our race control here tonight. Corey Bodinot is our resident race control for the All-American Racing League. Corey, it's Cliff and Emily in the booth. How are you, man?
Pretty good, man.
We want to know. We were just kind of curious. Did you have you had your finger on the button for that, right? You were ready to pull it.
Yeah, I
was. We obviously saw iRacing did not pull it. I think that's the right call there. I think the 9 car was definitely ready to get off the racing surface, and I think the drivers would agree that keeping it green was the right way to go. We agree up here in the booth. We were hoping to see a green flag start to finish here. What do you think the odds are for that actually happening?
It really depends on how they run up here at the front in your top 4.
Yeah, 10-4. They're getting antsy now, though, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. Well, you got the tough job here tonight. Well, I think you're sitting back, relaxing, sipping on a drink, because this race has been pretty clean here. But we'll go ahead and send you back to fulfill your duties as race control. We appreciate you as always.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Says Corey Bowden, working the big yellow button up in the booth here, running race control. Big thanks to him for doing that. It's not a fun job. I hope everyone understands that.
Yeah, man, now, I will say, like I was about to say, but then my 9 car, they will have to pit one more time, so we'll definitely see another pit stop coming out of every car as well. That's gonna just shake everything up. So I believe that's gonna put 3 pit stops for this whole entire race. Which I think that's the most pit stops, or at least the most pit stops I've seen out of green flag run.
Yeah, for sure. We are watching this race wind down. Not uneventful, just no crashes. It's great. We got some action here with the 6 and the 16. That's Peter Terrio and Christian Delgado. I think they're trying to work together to get pushed up ahead of this 57 and 11 car 2-pack team, but they're not quite nose to tail and smooth enough to make that happen. I think you're really going to have to be precise here if you're going to come up front and take this win away from one of these 2 Kaiju Cat Motorsports cars. I am very interested to see how this is going to play out and which of these 2 cars are going to get the win. I don't want to put anybody out. I don't want to say no one else could win this race, but what's it going to... Oh, I say that the 11's into the wall a little bit. We'll see if that affects that car, but I say that and I want to see what's going to come down to the last lap. You know, teammates are teammates until the last lap, right?
I mean, yes and no, as I am in a team myself. It can be, but if you have a good teammate, I know personally that what I like to do with my teammates, if we're in the same situation, we like to give that person, figure out who wants this win in it, but if we're in the situation again at another track, we swap positions and give that person a win, so both of us still get a win that season. So it does really just come down to if they want to, you know, figure out who wants to win it, or if it's just going to be a free-for-all. As again, no surprise there, the 57 is still leading it. So, did we see the 11 car last week? I don't think we did.
No, the 11 car and the 57 machine of Jackson Carr and Jason Middleton both were out at Daytona. We did not see them enter the race. From my information that I have here, the 11 car is running part-time, so that's expected. The 57 car, however, is listed as a full-time driver. Assuming he had some issues with the beginning of the season, that happens for sure. But expect to see this 57 machine throughout the season.
Oh yeah, I mean, just looking at this, the 5711 is going to be a great team, as they've shown us that they know how to work together.
Yeah, they definitely know how to work together, but you know, let's not put it past them that this is a super speedway kind of situation. So maybe they're really good at pack racing, and we'll have to see how they fare on some other racetracks.
Oh yeah, 100%. As the only two tracks we've done so far is Daytona and now Atlanta, as we're coming down with roughly 30 laps to go. It's I personally think this race has gone by way too fast.
Yeah, I don't disagree. You know, normally we've got way more opportunities to kind of talk to some drivers, pull them in under cautions. We didn't have any yet. We almost had one. Finger was on the button, as you heard from Corey in our race control booth. But this has been pretty clean. I'm excited about this, but I'm also a little concerned with what's going to come when we get to more of either a road course or a short track situation. You know, we've seen that these drivers definitely got it going on when it comes to high speeds at super speedways. You know, bumper to bumper draft racing, so to speak. And you know, next week we go to Pocono, so it's a little bit kind of similar, but with some different turning and some 3 separate different corners, so a lot more technical.
I will let you know, I actually will be racing Pocono twice this week in 2 of my leagues. Funny enough, I'll be racing one tomorrow night, then one Sunday, so in both the next gen, so definitely will be carrying some information next time I'll be in the booth.
That is definitely good news. I love it. You know, you're almost a resident expert here, Emily. I see you out there racing constantly in your leagues, and as well as officials out there grinding, getting the information when it comes to these cars. So I'm really happy to have you on board. Very excited to continue calling this season with you, and glad that you're here and can bring that type of information and expertise to the booth.
Yes, 100%. And I'm happy I get the honor to be in the booth with one of our management team of SRM and ESBN. That just makes my day thinking, you know, I get to be with somebody important.
Well, tonight I'm just another producer here bringing on a broadcast and showing it for the folks at home. But, you know, since you brought it up, yeah, running the SRM and ESBN show in the backgrounds. We got an awesome group of producers and commentators, and even guys and gals working in the shadows in the background that you don't hear from, you don't see them on a regular basis, but they're keeping the SRM and ESBN train running. So big shout out to the whole crew at Sim Racing Media and the whole crew at eSports Broadcasting Network when we brought them guys on. We really are a huge family here working as a team. But enough about us. Let's talk more about these drivers in the All-American Racing League Top Sale Truckers Feed America Cup Series, as these front runners are about to catch some more lap cars.
Yes, again, surprising. It's definitely shaking this field up, as now, after this pit cycle, we have 8 cars on the lead lap. I mean, that's what it comes down to, though, on these green flag runs, and we have a dead car in the bottom. Will that throw a caution?
Caution is definitely going to come out. The 77 of Patrick McQuaid here, just dead on the racetrack. He's going to go ahead and hit that tow button.
Man.
But we're going to have to find out what happened here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go away. We will definitely see what went wrong.
First caution of the night, 109 laps into it. It just got turned. Oh, that also takes out the 0-1 car, too. Man, that's gonna... I believe they have one fast repair tonight, don't they?
Yeah, I talked about it earlier. I believe they do, but, you know, most times they don't need it, so we don't really talk about it here. But, yeah, I believe they have one. The 77 here getting a good run behind the 45 machine. We're going to see the 15 get into it. So we see the 15 gets a big run on the 77 and comes to the middle side. but then dives back down and catches the quarter of the 77. That's going to turn him into another car and turn him around. That's the 01. That's going to put the 77 going backwards on the racetrack here. Man, you don't want to see that. It was we had a really good run going there, and maybe we jinxed it, but I don't think it was. I think that was some intense racing on the front stretch of this newly reconfigured racetrack, and a couple of cars got into it. I think that's what we call a racing deal.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I believe they are calling a couple people to get into their Discord channels. Always sounds interesting. As that's definitely gonna attempt to put a decent amount of vehicles on back on the lead lap. As I believe the A car might be staying out to get his wave around.
Well, since we got the 77 kind of just hanging out on pit road, probably getting some. I hate to pull him in, but I don't really know who else to pull in. Maybe we can get a word with the 77 and see kind of what happened there.
You want to pull in one of our leaders, maybe?
Yeah, why don't we talk to the leader, Jackson Carr, first, and see if we got time to talk to one of these guys who were involved.
Maybe.
Jackson Carr, it's Cliff and Emily in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, you guys are putting on a clinic here today. We thought we might go fully green, but we got a little bit of a caution there. That kind of stacks everybody else. We're just kind of curious, does that change your strategy for the night? Were you hoping for this caution, or what's going on in your brain right now? Take us through your race.
Well, I mean, that was quite lucky because we actually were a gallon from not making it, and we pitted before everybody else. So there was a good chance that we would have had to pit, and some people could have made it. So that was perfect. A strategy was stay out front, avoid dirty air. It's still the same strat. We're going to stay up front and not get in dirty air.
Yeah, 10-4, a great strategy right there. Do you and your teammate Middleton have what it takes to finish this one out strong? And if it comes down to the final couple laps, who gets the win, the 5-7 or the 11?
Usually it is me. Me and him have been racing together for almost a year now, and I've yet to push him to a win. He's pushed me to dozens and dozens of wins. I have yet to ever push him to a win.
Well, good luck. We'll let you go since the green flag has flown. We'll see if we talk to you on the podium.
Yep. Talk to you later. Right?
We'll go ahead and send Jackson back. We heard from usually the winner. Middleton, usually the pusher. We'll see if that changes here tonight, or if the 11 will continue to just be content with pushing this 57 the whole way.
I mean, with what we've seen tonight so far, that 11 car is hell of a pusher. I mean, we've seen it day and night as, the 6 car is looking on the inside of the 11 to try to make a move, and personally, I don't think if he does that, that 57 car will stay down there with them.
Yeah, that was Peter Terrio trying to make a move on the bottom side of that front 2-car tandem of Carr and Middleton. Just had a run. Didn't really have anywhere to put it, so went down low, got a little contact there, but no harm, no foul. As we have got, unbelievably, 20 laps to go here as this race has fully wound down. Big shout out though real quick to Justin Horton running the fastest lap of the race so far. That's a 14.84 out of that 67 machine right here of Justin Horton. Currently running 7th, up 9 spots from where he started. Let's see if he can make up a few more and be in the top 5 with, 2 to go.
Yes, sir. 6 car and that 16 car is attempting to make a move on the outside of our 2 leaders, as they are starting to make a move on them, as 57 still going out strong in that front. But I have a feeling it's going to shake up soon if that 6 car gets past them.
Yeah, that's the 6 and the 16 of Terrio and Delgado starting to work that top line. Couple of fast drivers. They definitely have what it takes, but I think for that top line to work, they're going to need some extra help. We saw early on in this race 3 cars work a little bit better than this 2-car tandem of the 57 and 11. I think that's really what it's going to take. So if they get some help on that top side, they could definitely get it done, but 17 laps to go. They really got to get it formed up now.
Oh yeah, as you definitely see, everybody's back together now. This just changed up and shook up the whole ball game. It's at this point anybody's game to win.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Things could definitely go wild here with 17 to go. Most of the action is going to happen right now. It's really going to be who can beat this 57/11 tandem car team. And I think from what we're seeing is it's going to happen. It's going to have to happen on the top side. You're going to need at least 3 cars. 4 would be better. And you're really going to have to be smooth and probably utilize that side draft as well. I think that's the only way you're going to beat these 2. Or if you can somehow take over that bottom line.
Oh yes, 100%. But I feel the only thing that might be shaken up at the end of this is 2nd and 3rd, as obviously we've seen the 11 car's gonna push that 57 with all his or her might just to get past and get him the win.
Yeah, Peter Terrio in that 6 Ford and Christian Delgado. They really want to get by this 2-car tandem who's been dominating this race. I want to jump back to my team roster here, because I believe that 6 and 16 are both, yes, Dominion Motorsports. That 6 of Peter Terrio and that 16 of Christian Delgado getting formed up top. That's a team situation there, trying to take it away from Kaiju Cat Motorsports. So this is what it's all about right here. 13 laps to go. We got 2-car tandems running side by side. These are team tandems.
We just had 1 car disappear from the track.
And I just want to give a shout out too to 72 car of Flanagan, who was just currently running right behind his teammates. Oh, the 15 will get shuffled out, and that might give the opportunity to Flanagan to dive down below his teammates. He can't get there. But also a Kaiju Cat Motorsports car trying to reach these top 2 cars of the 57 and 11, possibly making a 3-car tandem team. But 12 to go here. This race has gone by in a blink of an eye. We've got teammates battling here for the top 4 positions. You've got a Kaiju Cat Motorsports car running in a random 5th spot, kind of mixing it up a little bit. Oh, things will get shuffled a little bit here now with 11 to go as they come down the backstretch. Carr and Middleton now of Kaiju Cat Motorsports will get a clear run into turn 3 and 4.
As the 6 head going to be going on the bottom. Personally, from what I've seen all night, ooh.
Uh-oh. 16
has a right front toe broken, I believe, after that crash.
Yeah, he's definitely got to dive down and get into pit road there.
Man, that was a hard hit.
Oh no, that's going to cause a caution.
Will fly as, ooh, the 27 will get collected as well as the 37. Man, that was, a decent crash, if I say so myself, as the 16 was attempting to get clear of everybody on the track, didn't realize they're coming up on the bottom line and just collects everybody.
Yeah, you see the 16 at a rate of speed that was just unstoppable when it came to the 27 there. That's Cameron Harris, our second place finisher from last week. Well, I hate to say it, but that definitely changes everything here as we're inside 10 to go. We are going to call on our number 6 car, Peter Terrio, if we can, Emily.
Yes, and I will say something before we get them in the booth. I see something that might be big. They got a car in between them, so on this restart, they'll be right behind each other and able to push.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious now to see what the 6's strategy is going to be. Now that he kind of has lost contact with his teammate of Christian Delgado in that 16 machine.
So, sorry about that. Who did you want me to pull in the booth for you?
Oh, yeah, no worries. If we could get the 6 of Peter Terrio.
Peter Terrio, I believe this is...
You know what? There he is, yeah.
It's going to be Emily and Cliff in the booth. You got a copy.
I got you guys.
What was going through your mind before that last caution just came out? Do you have somebody that you're able to work with to be able to get past this 57 and 11 car? As I personally saw you and that 16 car was working really hard to get in front of them.
Yeah, Christian was my thing to work with there. He's being a great teammate, just pushing every chance he got. He was getting to my bumper, and that's exactly what we needed to do, because that's what Jackson and Chase started doing, and that's how they're being able to stick together and be so fast. But yeah, it sucks now that he was involved in that wreck, so I'm not really gonna have anybody I'm familiar with. Like, I don't have a teammate behind me. I can't really talk to them privately, whoever's gonna be behind me here. But it's kind of be all about trying to get the little amount of side draft I can on that high side, I guess.
Yeah, 10-4. Well, good luck. Unfortunately, you lost your teammate there and the car you've been working with most of the night. You're gonna have your hands full. Maybe you can work with the 15 there, David Hara. But we wish you luck. Hopefully, we get a chance to talk to you here before we finish up. And hopefully in a better situation than we finished last week at Daytona, and we talk to you then. So let's see if we can put that 6 machine on the podium, eh?
Yeah, all right. Thank you, guys.
The 10-4 will send you back to or let's not jump the gun. 7 to go here. Caution is out. We didn't quite go clean and green to the end, but man, did we make a really good run at it. Huge shout out to the All-American Racing League and the Top Sale Truckers Cup Series here. Brought to you, Truckers Feed America Cup Series brought to you by the Top Sale Truckers. And a huge shout out to Muffler Man for sponsoring this race, the Muffler Man 200. This league, I'll throw this out there, is brought to you by these drivers. They're the reason you're seeing this. They bring in the money. They bring in the sponsorship. There are no fees charged by this league ownership. These guys are here because they love to race, and they're able to broadcast it because the guys who love to race throw up the money to make sure that you guys at home get to see them race. So thank your driver, because they're the reasons you're seeing this. Let's go.
As we get green, the 57 and 11 car, as I predicted, get a huge run on that bottom, as the 6 car is going to have to file back and set in for 4th place, as coming to the line after this will be 5 laps to go. I believe in this league, if I am correct from last week, 3 green, white checkers, if I'm correct.
Yeah, if we need it, we'll have 3 green, white checkered attempts. We see the 15 creeping down there on the bottom. Going to take the 6 with him, trying to make a move on this powerhouse of the 57 and 11 car. 5 to go. This is when you need to make it happen. They're going to get some help from the one of Lilith Peters on the bottom, as well as, I believe, Jeremy Flanagan. No, it's not Flanagan. It's another car there. The 67 of Justin Horton, trying to help that bottom line work as they are side by side. You could have stuck a piece of paper between Carr and David Hara there, running for the lead.
As the 6 car is giving that 15 the push of his life, as the 15 drops back, which will give the 57 and 11 car a little bit more oomph and possibly to be able to drop down. I just think the 15 didn't like that bump the 6 gave him.
Yeah, Hara got out of the way there to keep it clean, I think is what just happened. I think if he didn't bail like that, it was going to get ugly. And he knew with 3 to go, it was best to let it stay clean. Really, unfortunately, gave up a good amount of spots there as he's scored currently in 8th and was just really pushing for a lead spot there. So unfortunate for the 15, but his teammate David Lorfano now in the 8 car is running up here for a lead spot.
As crossing the line, 2 laps to go, and the 57-11 are going at it with the 8 and 3 car moving and grooving. 2 Camaros versus 2 Camaros. Who will win?
Coming down the backstretch, you got the number 8 of David Lorfano, who is a 2-time champion here, pushing against the 57 and 11 2-car tandem team, who's now up on the top. This is going to get interesting here as we come across the line. Final lap, white flag will fly. Next flag will end this race. Can the 8 get a push here to defeat the 57 of Jackson Carr, who has been dominant all race long? They'll come
3
down the
wide
back
in
stretch.
the back as
Oh
the
no,
3 gets turned by the 6 car.
3's going to go around. We're going to stay green. They're going to let him race out.
And I believe we have our winner, the 57 car of Jackson Carr,
Woo,
coming
the
across the
60.
line with this.
Sorry, the 67 there got a little bit of a tap and was almost straight sideways to hang on to it and finish 3rd place.
The 11 car giving the 57 approval of getting that win, going side by side. I expect a double burnout, don't you?
Yeah, I would expect the Jackson Carr and Jason Middleton, these teammate cars, to basically celebrate this win together because there it is, the drift. They won this race together. I don't think they could have done it alone. It was really a team effort there. 67 of Justin Horton also going to rip it down. He's going to gather 3rd place here for the Muffler Man 200.
I don't think that race could have gone any better than what it went. I think having those last cautions at the end made it like a cherry on top of ice cream.
Yeah, you're right. We needed something. This could have gone all the way green. And in a way, I'm kind of glad it didn't. You know, it could have ended under a kind of lackluster 3 separate pack finishes. But we had a couple of cautions there late. And no one wants to see that, but it happened. And it bunched us all up, and we got a really great finish. But I think the 2 greatest cars here finished 1-2 tonight. I think well deserved.
Yes, sir. As I'm interested to see the laps led after this race. I have a feeling that 57 car led at least 95 to 98% of these laps.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We'll definitely get those stats and take a look. Jackson Carr gonna definitely win some bonus points here tonight. Probably at least, well, he won the race, so he's going to probably get 15. I believe he ran the most laps led a lap, and he won, so that's 15 bonus points. I think that 77 of Patrick McQuaid's got some competition here.
I think so, too. That is a big move to get him on those point standings. You're leading the most laps, winning the race, and leading laps. That's going to get him every point possible he could get at Atlanta.
So why don't we go ahead and see if we can grab Justin Horton in that 67 machine as they're waiting out at the start finish. Grab our third place finisher and get a word from him. So I got him here. I'll move him to the booth. Hey, Justin. Go ahead.
Justin Horton, this is Emily and Cliff in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Yep, copy.
Good to see you. Finishing third out here tonight. What was going through your mind while the last couple cautions as well going through this whole race?
Oh, it was a crazy race. Started off real rough. There was a rough start for the race. I ended up, they were so slow on takeoff, ended up being in 21st place for about the first 60-something laps. Got real lucky. I did great on every single pit stop I did. It was pretty much flawless on pit road. And then I was lucky enough that when the leaders came by, it was my teammates. I hopped up behind them and was riding the line with them. Managed to get the lucky dog. And from there, I was able to pretty much pull it out. Really good teamwork. The entire Kaiju Cat team got a top 5, 1 through 5. Feels real good.
Yeah, I was going to say, kind of a quiet race for your team till the end there. We didn't see him much towards the front until it really mattered. And thank you for highlighting that Kaiju Cat Motorsports. You guys were absolutely dominant here tonight.
I just noticed that. Jeez.
So huge hats off to your team. Go ahead, Emily.
That's definitely going to give a lot of team owner points for your team there as... Whew, that was an amazing race. Up 13 spots. Do you have anybody that you would like to thank? Any sponsors, family, friends?
Yeah, I want to thank Luna Steak Sauce. I want to thank Foxfire Foods, everyone for sponsoring the car. I want to thank Jeremy Flanagan for having me in the car. I want to thank the entire team, Jackson, Jason, Lilith, and Jeremy. It was an amazing race towards the end. It was rough in the beginning, but when it came down to it, we did everything we could, and it worked out. Great teamwork, great driving. Shout out to the Bean team. Fun race. Beginning was really rough and boring, but at the end it got exciting. And that's when we came out and put in the work and got the results that we were hoping for.
Yes, 100%. I'm gonna let you go. Go have fun, get some beers if you're legal age.
Yeah, I am. I'll be having some beers.
Just have to throw that in there with your teammate. As again, you guys top 5 with all of your teammates. Let's hope you have a beautiful night and have a good one.
Thank you guys very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Justin Horton, our third place finisher. We'll go ahead and grab Jason Middleton in the 11 car. Jason, Cliff, and Emily in the booth. How are you?
Pretty good. How y'all doing?
We're doing well, man. You guys put on a clinic here tonight. You in that 57 machine. We talked to Jackson onto that caution, or one of the late cautions there. Glad to talk to you today. P2, congratulations. Take us through your race, and really how that. Were you ever worried there towards the end, going fully green and then all of a sudden getting a couple of cautions?
Not at all. I knew that I could push them to a win. That was a goal. We were going to go to the back at the beginning of the race just to avoid any chaos, but we decided to stay up front, and that really helped us. And our pit stop helped us a lot as well. We got held up by some lappers, and the other pack caught us. So that was a bit of a hindrance, but it was just mid-race, so we were okay. And on those restarts, we would get such a great restart. And when Peter was to my outside, he would side draft the hell out of me, and then I'd get him back. It was a hell of a battle, man, I must say. It was a good race overall. I mean, it's my first time at this track. I'm pretty happy with it.
Wow,
we came in hoping to finish first and second, and we came out first and second. I mean, I'm happy.
Yeah, you can't really ask for much more. We did notice that looks like you're running a part-time schedule. When's the next race we're gonna see the 11 car out here?
To be honest, I don't know. What is it next week?
Next week we got Pocono, and then we got Coda.
You should see me there.
All right, well, we look forward to it. Hopefully, with any bit of luck, we'll be able to talk to you again in the booth here on the podium.
Yes, sir.
But congrats to the 11 team, and happy to have you here. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we send you back to celebrate?
Oh, to thank Kaji Cat and Jeremy for bringing me on to the team, letting me run with them. It's been a lot of fun so far. I want to thank Jackson, my teammate. It was a lot of fun racing with him and, push him to a win.
Yeah, I don't think you could ask for anything more from a teammate. Well done tonight, and we
Yes,
will
sir.
see you again next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
That's Jason
Jackson.
Middleton. We're going to grab our winner.
Jackson, this is Emily Antuff in the booth. You got a copy.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Great win out there. Led 123 laps. Man, that's a lot of laps. What was going through your mind that whole race?
Well, most of it was just relaxing. Like, I was in a chat with Jason, and then we went into because we didn't have the driver role, and then we were just talking in game. Man, it's just relaxing. When you get tense, it really struggles. But I mean, that was a great race, very clean. Other than when we got blocked and doored a couple times by lappers, but your tires after 20 laps were dead. 1 and 2 is pretty good. 3 and 4 was terrible.
Yeah. I ran some mileage on this track too. Man, that's definitely gonna put you and your whole team on the leaderboard. As coming out of here, you got the most laps led. You led a lap as well, finishing first. That's gonna give you competition with our first place on the leaderboard so far, as well as team owner points.
Yeah.
Yeah, one question I have for you, Jackson. We noticed, obviously, you weren't around for Daytona, but you are registered as a full-time driver. Are we going to see you week in, week out from here on out?
Yeah, I was at a family reunion last week, which is unfortunate.
No, that's
me and
fortunate.
Jason,
Family reunions are awesome.
Me and Jason, we compete week in, week out with pro drivers in super speedway leagues. So we knew Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, that we had those marked. Jason's a lot better than me at most of the tracks. So I really do need this kind of leapfrog, get a little head start on him. But we got Talladega in the playoffs, so I'll be looking forward to that one.
Yeah, we expect to see you and Middleton kind of pushing their way here and really ruffling up the top drivers here in the All-American Racing League and Top Sale Truckers Feed America Cup Series. So it's a mouthful. I apologize. But anyone else you want to give a shout out to before we send you back to celebrate with your teammates?
Yeah. I think Firefox Foods and Luna's Steak Sauce. I know they're kind of sponsoring the whole Kuji Cat team. A couple of mine, like Aladam Contreras Paints, Max BTV, Maconi Setup Shop, Agent Inc. Racing, Beckman Designs, Overton Speed Shop, and Sky Point. Those are lots of help. They always help me out with different stuff, so it's good to shout those guys out. And you guys for putting on the broadcast, of course.
Well, we appreciate that for sure. Jackson, congrats again at P1. Hopefully we get to talk to you again next week at Pocono.
I think it's Pocono.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So we'll send you back to celebrate, man. Congrats again. And you enjoy the night.
Yep. Thank you.
So that's our top 3 drivers here tonight. Not a huge wreck there at the end, like we kind of saw at Daytona. So we don't have any busted up cars and drivers waiting on the infield care center for interviews. So that's going to do it for our drivers. We'll go ahead and run through our top finishers of the race. Jackson Carr, we just talked to, taking that top spot in that 57 machine. Also, his teammate pushing him to the win of Jason Middleton, going to take that second spot. Kaiju Cat Motorsports 1, 2, 3. I think we determined that Justin Horton is also Kaiju Cat Motorsports. I will keep going with the Kaiju Cat team here with Lilith Peters in the 1 machine finishing 4th. And then you've got Jeremy Flanagan, also Kaiju Cat Motorsports, finishing 5th. So let me just go ahead and pause right there and give a huge shout out to Kaiju Cat Motorsports for winning and placing top 1 through 5 of this race. Now, that might be record setting within the All-American Racing Leagues. We'll have to go out offline and talk to those guys, but I think that's the first time I've seen a team finish top 5.
By chance, just to say, you want to get why not? You want to get Lilith Peters and maybe Jeremy in here?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and grab them? I'll continue on here. David Lorfano III finishing 6th, David Harris 7th. Peter Terrio is going to finish 8th with Scott Leonard finishing 9th. Nathan Christensen going to finish 10th. Brian Kaufman 11th. Larry Garnes 12th. Cole Martin 13th. Tyrone Yo Jr. is going to roll off 14th. Adam Angerstein 15th. Charlie Dickey 16th. Patrick McQuaid is going to finish way back in 17th. And Christian Delgado is going to finish 18th. Jim Hubble 19th. Cameron Harris having some trouble early on. Is going to finish 20th. So we got a couple of Kaiju Cat Motorsports top runners in our booth. Go ahead, Emily.
Yeah, second, sorry. Jeremy, this is Emily in the booth. You got a copy?
Solid copy.
What was going through your mind as I believe you're the team owner, correct?
That would be true. I would be the owner of Kaiju Cat Motorsports.
What was going through your mind once that checkered flag flew and all 5 of your teammates gone across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? What was going through your mind?
I was definitely celebrating a little bit. I was really happy about how all that went down because it's not every day you see your entire team finish in the top spots, every top spot that they could fill.
Yeah, we're thinking that might be a record there that we're going to have to start. Whether it's been recorded or not, Kaiju Cat Motorsports, top 5, let it be known.
Oh, yeah. I definitely have to thank all of the team members, Jackson, Carr, Jason Middleton, Justin Horan, Lilith Peters, all 4 of them. They did a great job tonight. I know this may not be the favorite configuration of Atlanta, but we still did a hell of a job, and the fact that we were able to pull it through 1 through 5 is just amazing. And big thanks to Foxfire Foods with Luna Steak Sauce for just being such a great sponsor. Definitely going to be very happy to fly their colors throughout the season.
Yes, 100%. Now I'm gonna go over to your fellow teammate, Lilith Peters. You got a copy in the booth.
Hi.
What was going through your mind, going across that finish? We didn't really see much of you at the beginning, but at this very end, obviously you finished 4th.
I was just trying to finish, and I saw a 4-car train at the top of Kaiju Cat cars, so I was like, yeah, why not? Ended up
Yeah, sounds like you gotta get on that train.
Yeah.
Lilith, I do have a question for you. Last season we saw you kind of on a limited schedule. We saw you. I don't want to correct me if I'm wrong, but you won at least 1 race. Are we gonna see you 2 races? Thank you. Are we gonna see you full time this year?
Yeah, I am full time with Kaiju Cat Motorsports. It was 3, by the way.
It was 3?
Yeah.
All right. Well, 3 wins last season. So there you go. And you didn't run a full season. So, I mean, a handful of the races you entered, you won. I'm really looking forward to seeing you run a full season and hopefully get a whole bunch of wins under your belt and see you fighting for a championship this year.
Thank you very much. I would really like to thank FoxfireFoods.com that sells this Luna steak sauce. I like the car a lot, and I'm very glad they sponsored, and thanks to Jeremy, obviously, for putting me in his car.
Yeah, you guys got some fast cars out there and a heck of a team. Hopefully see you in the end of the season.
Thanks for broadcasting it.
Yeah, of course. Hopefully we see your team at the top when it matters towards the end here.
Thank you. See you guys next week.
Absolutely. So we will. We went through our race results. We'll call it a night here tonight. Emily, any last words before we call it quits?
Not really, but again, everybody, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications to, you know, next time we go live with this amazing league next week at Pocono. Yeah, that's really all I have to say. Amazing night with Cliff in the booth. Couldn't have it any better on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. Wouldn't be anywhere else. Well, thank you for joining me. Thank you for all the viewers at home for watching and sticking through it to the end. Like Emily said, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification if you want to get a ping every time we go live. But at the very least, give a thumbs up if you enjoyed the show. We thank you all for watching. For everybody back at the Sim Racing Media Studios and ESBN, have a great night. We'll see you next time.